Sorry it's dark, but you can hear me. This is worth sharing because I'm really happy. Happy. I listen to the Snedeker program on YouTube from time to time to basically see how many dots they're connecting, which is like going through a roadmap, right? Looking at all the junctions, which is looking at all the data points and being able to put all the data together. And they're putting the data together. It's taken them a while to sort of do this, okay? But what prompted this was where they were able to make a connection, and they use Q to little breadcrumbs, if you will. So then it's like a data point, and then that leads to them to, hey, let's go see where that data goes. And so then that data took them to the Mayo Clinic, and I thought, okay, well, what does the Mayo Clinic have to do with all this, right? And of course, in the middle of all that is like Pelosi, right? You want to investigate Pelosi to get her to testify? Well, she's not going to be able to testify. You know why that? Because she doesn't have any memory, because they know how to wipe her memory. Okay, so she doesn't have any information because she doesn't have any information that's in her memory. Okay? So when you go to the Mayo Clinic, and they went to go look at, let's go see who the board of directors are of the Mayo Clinic, and what do they find out? A guy by the name of Lundquist. Well, who's Lundquist? Well, Lundquist is the production manager for 3M. Okay, so if you go back to my childhood, my mother bought me a tape recorder. Okay, using what? 3M tape. So when you have a voice recorder, what are you recording? You're recording your voice. Your timeline, actually, right onto that magnetic tape. Okay, and so when you stop it and decide, okay, I'm going to keep that reel to reel and put it in a box to preserve it, and in 50 years, I'm going to go listen to my voice. Well, what recorded that? Magnetic light did. Okay, so when you realize that Lundquist, who was with 3M, okay, was the production manager for 3M, they know something about timelines. They know something about information, don't they? So they dug even further, and they realized that this guy Lundquist was in charge of information security. Information security. Information sciences. Data travels as information through electrons. Mayo Clinic, 3M, okay, Xerox, General Electric, Westinghouse, Department of Energy, Bill Gates, Microsoft Foundation, Google, Windows, operating systems, vaccines, sorcerers, wizards. This isn't just somebody waving a wand and going, hey, look what I just did, even though you can manifest things, right? You have to advance your technology. Remember, I talked about the first computer, the first laptop, what preceded the first programmer. Who was the first programmer? Sophia. She was the first matter programmer, programming matter. The spin and rate at which the particle produces what it is that you experience holographically. Well, how fast are you going to go through the holographic universe geometrically, right? And so you begin to realize that this is a data programming system in which you experience what it is that you're creating, which is the reality you thus experience with the information that you're using to do it with, which are electrons, and the magnetic light moments that you're experiencing, going, wow, I just produced a big-ass universe that's in love with itself. What an orgasm. That's who we are. That's not who they are, okay? That's not what they do. They program Hellrealm realities, okay, because that's the ones they live in. Because these are evil beings. They do things on a level that most people can't even imagine or comprehend. Because instead of, how do I put this, wanting to experience more of what the light is, which is more of what love is, that you can expand the universe and experience all of what love creates, they want to be more evil. As, what's his name? Jay Parker did a video one time because he grew up in an Illuminati satanic family. And he was saying that what they do is they come up with more ways to create more horror. Like he would say, for example, one idea they came up with, which is to, like, use an axe. If you ever saw like a lot of those horror movies with Freddy, right? The Shining with Jack Nicholson, right? Remember the axe in the door, okay, where they take an axe and want to split somebody's head wide open with an axe. These are the kinds of things that they do, okay? So if you have imagination, then imagine what you could do that are some of the most evil things that you can possibly think of. Can you come up with some? Because that's what they do. They come up with the most evil ways in which they can torture. They're on the opposite side of the spectrum. They want to do everything that represents the most dense, dark shit there is. So imagine what they do to children, okay? I'll tell you what, I'll give you one example of some things that I know that I do, and I don't want to go into a lot of it because particularly children do not watch this, okay? But they'll put what's called a glass tube, okay, down the shaft of a penis, okay? And then what they'll do is they'll take a pair of pliers, okay, and then break that glass that's inside the shaft of the penis. What do you think that would feel like if they did that, okay? They cut off your nipples, okay? You have no idea some of the things that they do, okay? Which is to just, they're sadomasochistic, okay? So they come up with the most evil ways that they can think of to cause you the most terrifying pain and suffering that you can imagine, because guess what happens? Your life force energy to want to keep yourself alive, to fight against what it is that's trying to destroy you, is causing so much pain, because that's not who you are, because you are what the light is. Okay? You have no idea how much energy, the chemistry of what is released as a result of what they do to you. And guess what they do? That's your adrenochrome. Okay? They drink that as a blood. That's what keeps them going. Why is that? Go read the Book of the Dead. Go read the Book of Solomon, the Solomon Seal, okay? Because that's what we were dealing with. So if you're not a spiritual warrior, how do you ever expect to be able to conquer these people? You won't. You'll end up becoming, you'll be locked into their hell realm forever. That's what they do. That's what they want you to experience. That's why that Rome priest put up that video on the Carrie Cassidy Project Camelot show. He explained it, made it real easy, okay? That all your corporations, all your big companies, everything on Wall Street, all your communication systems is all run by some of the most evil, demonic things that you can possibly imagine. And they have all their tech that everybody's connected to. So that's why this is the liberation of planet, which is liberation of consciousness, unless we're disappearing all this. This is called the fifth world, okay? That was the fourth world. That's why they're going to disappear. The age of Aquarius, right? So anyway, have a good night. You all take care. Bye now.